Here's why I did this story. Recently, neighbors of South St. Louis County's Weldon Cox called me up at the South County Times and asked me to come and see his garden. He has an amazing garden, and it's even more amazing when you see that this man is 90 plus years old and he's out there working every day, sometimes as the sun rises, putting his flowers together. I was most impressed by the Mexican sunflowers, and the Mexican sunflowers are attracting pollinators galore in his backyard. It was amazing to see the excitement on Mr. Cox's face as he showed me bees and honeybees and monarch butterflies, but he was especially excited to be contributing to the welfare of pollinators in the St. Louis area.
When I go out in my backyard and I see all those honeybees, big bumblebees, little bees of all kinds, I can't describe the pleasure that I get from seeing all this taking place.
Besides the bees, Weldon Cox seems especially excited to be part of the program to bring back monarchs and provide monarchs milkweed and the kinds of plants, the native plants that are necessary for their survival on their trip from Canada to Mexico when they stop off here in St. Louis. The monarchs, of course, are declining in population, and it's becoming increasingly vital for us to give them a chance by providing plants in our backyards, and Weldon Cox is certainly a great example of somebody who's contributing to this.
Last summer, I think it was late August, one afternoon, there were so many monarchs in my backyard making use of all the nectar that was available. I tried counting them, and I couldn't. There were so many.
Here's an added benefit of what Weldon Cox is doing with his backyard gardens, and that is he's removing areas that he has to mow. And it's not simply something that he's doing because it means less lawn to cut. He talks about his concern about lawnmowers, the noise pollution, the air pollution. So that's an added benefit that Weldon Cox brings to his backyard garden projects.
Lawnmowers are noise and air polluters of the worst sort. So the more I can cut back on my use of the lawnmower, the better.
In a follow-up, it's exciting to learn from Weldon Cox how many of his former students at Lindbergh High School contacted him after this article. It was gratifying for me to hear Weldon talk about how excited he was to make contact with these old students again.
I was overjoyed at the reaction in the South County Times after the article by Don Corrigan had been out there for a while. I was astounded at the number of former students that I had at Lindbergh High School. Students going way back into the 1960s who somehow or other read Corrigan's article. I just stumbled on to their comments a couple of days ago, and I couldn't believe. I was overwhelmed.
So another thing I learned from Weldon Cox is that his garden has gotten a review from the Audubon Society with their program, Bring Conservation Home. They've actually given him advice on what to plant, what kinds of plants are not necessary, and it's been extremely useful for Weldon Cox as he plans the future of his backyard garden. He also gave me the idea to contact the Audubon Society about this program, and I hope to talk to Mitch Leachman in the near future about the Audubon program. So, until next time, this is Don Corrigan with Environmental Echo.